On today's episode, the Cubs get walked off by the Reds in game 161. But first, we get into Willson Contreras possibly heading to a rival. A lot on tap with this episode. Here we go.
Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into Locked On Cubs alongside Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. Pleased to be with you for already a Wednesday episode as the last week of the regular season is humming quick, and game 162 is at 3:10 on Wednesday in Cincinnati. The Cubs fell to the Reds in 161, 3-2.
Wow.
Still have had a great second half, but we'll get to that game later in the show. Sam, how's everything going?
It's good to see
you.
A
lot to get into here.
No, it's always good to see you.
Very good. I appreciate that. I appreciate you and all your eclectic colors that you wear. You got the teal hat, you got the orange shirt.
Yeah, I like to be a bright color. I don't have very, I have a very boring fair skin, so I like to I like to compensate for that by wearing bright colors.
No, you look good today. Yeah. And there were a lot of YouTube comments today about the uniforms.
I saw that, Matthew.
So yeah, maybe that's the question of the day or question of the week about the road grays versus the alternate blues.
Yeah, let's get into the show.
Certainly interesting, interesting clothing conversation.
Food for thought, as they say.
Food for thought. And Sam has food on his shirt. So
no, it's not. It's not food. It's just
it's shapes
from Nike.
Okay, very good. Oh, the Nike logo. All right. Okay, so the Cubs have literally one game left after Tuesday night. And as we know, the offseason is going to begin here after the World Series is when the period begins with the qualifying offers. Then we have the GM meetings, and that snowballs from there.
Sure.
Everybody was surprised that Willson Contreras remained with the Cubs until October 5th. August 2nd, we were almost for sure he was gone. The week leading up to it, we were maybe having some doubts. We didn't really see a market being established. Sure enough, he wasn't traded. He was kept. Now the Cubs are in this, not conundrum, but they have to make a decision. Do we offer him the qualifying offer? Does he take it? What did the Cubs do with them? And ultimately, if he is a free agent, he's free to go anywhere he wants.
Sure.
And there's a report this week that he might go to the Cardinals as so far as he's contacted Jose Quintana before the season has even ended. So certainly some things to get into here. Not pleasing to the eye that a core member would be on a rival team, but maybe that's reality.
Matt, I appreciate you. I love doing the show with you. I love you as a human being. You know that.
Right. That will never change.
You know that I love our audience and that I take great pride and respect everybody that comments and reaches out to me about the show, whether they agree with me, whether they disagree with me, whether they like me, whether they dislike me, right? This is not rhetorical. You can respond.
No, I wholeheartedly agree, and I believe that to be true about you.
Matt, I could not care less if Willson Contreras dons a Cardinal uniform. I am so sick of these guys. I have so much respect for them. I have admiration for them. I have a place in my heart stored for the 2016 Cubs and the core members. But I am so tired of the stories and the core and Schwarber's 50 home runs or 46 home runs. But Brian Baez and Rizzo are doing bad. And now Contreras is going to go. And we honored Hayward. This is a new era of Cubs baseball. If the Cubs deem it best, if Jed Hoyer deems it best for the Cubs to offer Contreras the qualifying offer and he takes it and comes back for another year, great. If that's best for our baseball team, great. If Contreras goes into free agency, he's fair game to anybody. If he wants to go to St. Louis like Dexter Fowler did and like John Lester did, then let him go there. Let me remind our folks, this guy is hitting 243 this season. He is playing a below average catcher, okay? I am done with this. The guy is a great leader. He's a physically tough guy. I have no problems with Willson Contreras, the man. We can live without Willson Contreras, the player. If the Cubs deem it's best to bring him back, great. If he's playing against us, great. The next great Cubs team is coming with or without the service of Willson Contreras. And if that means we're going to compete against them 14 times a year across the arch of Missouri, then bring it on. Okay? I'm tired of it. It doesn't matter, and it doesn't make me think any less of him if he wants to go there. If that's the best deal to him and he wants to stick it to the Cubs, go for it. Good luck. See if you can hit 260 during a campaign.
Well, a lot to take in there. I'm going to have
You didn't expect that.
I'll have to clip that for tonight.
No, I'm just tired of it, man. Aren't you getting a little tired about this whole thing already?
So what do you mean by whole thing? Like just like the Swan song?
Yeah, there's because
another farewell for Contreras.
Yeah,
last home run in a Cubs uniform for Contreras.
That's what I'm tired of. And it's not just him. It's the whole
right. It's all the headlines and all.
Early in the year, seeing the Baez clips if he hit a homer. It's like, it's over. It's over. Mm-hmm. And we'll have a whole episode on this. But those guys did what nobody else that's ever put in that uniform could do. And they had a lot of help. I mean, look at the pitching. There's 20 guys we could mention, and they all deserve tons of credit, and especially the 6-7 guys. But I am ready to close the book. Some fan had a great comment the other day about it. It's too much like the 85 Bears. And the 85 Bears had more success than this Cubs era. They were really good in 86, 87, and 88. They made the conference championship. They got blown out by San Fran, I think, in 88. Lost back-to-back home games in the playoffs against the Redskins in 86, 87.
Yeah, the Cubs made the Final Four 3 years in a row.
Yeah. It's very similar. It's very similar.
Yeah.
And I don't want 40 years later to be like, man, we still got the 16 Cubs. It's time for a new beginning and a more sustained beginning and a less all or nothing with these guys. And
that was always your rub. They were all or nothing.
Yeah. It's just, I'm just, you know what I mean? You explained it. It's just, I'm tired of the Swan songs. I'm tired of the conversation. I want to talk about Horner, Suzuki, potential free agents, pitching, Jed Hoyer. I don't want to talk about this 243 hitter anymore. Excuse me. I have some allergies.
Well, yeah, might have been bad this week too. I'm itchy
really
a lot.
Yeah. Very itchy.
You know, I get the headline culture. I strongly, I'm going to botch that word. I strongly disagree with the catching up and the tracking of the former players. I think that's over with now. I think it's tired. I do think a lot of that slowed down as the season progressed. I also think it slowed down because they didn't perform.
Exactly. Except for Schwarber, it slowed down because there's nothing to post.
Right. Schwarber hits. He's a power hitter. Okay, he's had one of the best power hitting seasons.
Absolutely, and they shouldn't have non-tendered him. They shouldn't have non-tendered him. It was a mistake. But we'll get into that.
We can do 20 minutes on that next month too.
The three trades that they made, for Mo, Larry, and Curley this year worked out well.
Yeah. Well, listen, I get why. Again, we understand why the fans are attached to these players. You're looking at one right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I differ from Sam in that I will always not saying that you won't, but even in the moment, it's like okay, like this weekend, I'll root for Schwarber and I'll keep an eye on him and all that
I don't think I'm that much different. I'm just able to close the book on it.
Yeah, and I think it's necessary. And there's hard evidence that Contreras has regressed, especially defensively. There's evidence that he's now has even potentially a more limited profile as a hitter If you have limitations, especially now with the DH, yeah, maybe you still have opportunities, but I just don't know. Again, we don't know if he's going to be on the 23 team. I still think it's unlikely,
Right.
but
And
never
my and
say
my
never.
point is I just don't. If he goes to the Cardinals, okay, it'll be a cute story for the first series. Move on. You'll move on quickly.
Well, and actually, I have some things to add with that, though.
Sure, add it on, baby.
If he's a free agent, he's free to go anywhere. That's the concept. I've always loved that line.
Yeah, like Dexter Fowler.
But yeah, Dexter Fowler, but he wasn't a Cub since the start of his career like Willson Contreras was.
Yeah.
And dude, why can't you wait a couple days to talk to Jose Quintana? Okay, why?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
I don't like it. I'm sorry.
All right.
I don't like it.
I am just over it.
And I don't like that he might play in St. Louis.
This guy got 2 farewells.
He did. Yeah, it was a little bit absurd.
Listen, if he goes to play St. Louis, it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
It
bothers me in that I want to beat him.
Yeah, well, that's
when he comes up every time, I want to send him back to the dugout with the chair.
Yeah, well,
Cubs Cardinals is a big rival. If you go to the Cardinals, dude, I don't treat you like everybody else.
All right.
It's one thing if you're in the AL, you're with a team not in the division. If you go to a rival, I mean, could you imagine Rizzo on the Brewers?
That would be too much.
It would be upsetting.
Yeah.
Similar stuff with Contreras to the Cardinals. Oh, it sickens me.
Yeah. See, I just, for whatever reason,
boy,
it just doesn't.
Jose Quintana, what did he ever do?
It doesn't help us win a 2017 division title.
True. Sorry. After that, though.
Yeah. After that, he didn't help us much. As Dylan Cease will finish in the top 3 Cy Young voting. But what? Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I get your case on it. For whatever reason, I don't look at Contreras like I look at Rizzo for what it's worth.
I get what you're saying.
It doesn't bother me that much.
Yeah.
Like, you know me.
Original core though.
I have never been a huge, like, I'll say this. I always root like hell for him. I have never been a major Baez or Contreras guy. I just never like I was one of those guys after the 2018 season. I told you and Nick when we were at a pizza place watching the game, I said they should trade him. This is the highest his value will ever get. They should trade him. He'll never have another season like this.
Right.
I just never was a fan of the all or nothing stuff with Javi offensively. I was always a fan of his glove. And with Contreras, I was always a fan of his passion, and I thought he was best served as a complementary player. And I never thought he was a good enough hitter to be a face of a lineup or a franchise. And I believe that. And I don't like his catching ability. So to me, I'm ready to just move on. What
do you think about the leadership element though? What's your, not to say that you're playing defense if somebody says that, but if I throw that at you, like, because we've acknowledged that he does provide leadership wise.
Yeah, I would say,
what's kind of your meter on that for 2023? Just that they could fill it elsewhere.
Well, if they get Carlos Correa, he'll be a leader on the team.
Yeah.
I think Nico Horner will be a leader on this team, and the way he plays the game will lead by
example. He's had some great quotes, man.
And David Ross is the leader, should be the leader of this team. So the leadership thing's real. He's a leader on this team, and he's a winner. And I'm not going to be angry if he is on the team next year. My point is just like, if he goes to the Cardinals, I'm not going to lose that much sleep. I'm just over it.
I gotcha.
That's all. That's all I'm trying to say.
Fair.
I'm just over it. I'm just over it. All I want to do next year is win baseball games. If he's a part of it, awesome. If he's not, awesome. We're going to win regardless. That's what I think.
We're going to get into Cubs Reds coming up next. We wanted to let you know that today's episode is brought to you by Simply Safe. The numbers don't lie. In the last decade, over 4 million people have chosen Simply Safe home security to protect their home. You don't earn the trust of that many people without doing something right. It's Simply Safe. Your safety is the only thing that matters. They protect you with cutting-edge security tech powered by 24/7 professional monitoring agents who always have your back. Simply Safe's agents help you A moment a threat is detected and dispatch police or first responders in an emergency, even if you're not home or can't be reached. Smarter ways to detect motion that only alert you when a threat is real, and even hazard sensors that instantly detect fires, floods, and other threats to your homes. Simply Safe Monitoring Experts uses proprietary advanced response technology to visually confirm when a break-in is real, so you can get the highest priority police dispatch. Customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at simplysafe.com/lockedonmlb. Save 20% on your Simply Safe security system when you sign up for interactive monitoring plan and get your first month free. Visit simplysafe.com/lockedonmlb to learn more. There's no safe like Simply Safe. We're back here on Locked On Cubs. Second to last episode with regular season games being played out on a baseball field near you. In this case, it's the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati.
Struggle here. Hard to play there.
As, low scoring games, which I expect on Wednesday as well. The Reds walk it off in the ninth to win 3-2, despite Javier Assad going 5 1/3 scoreless. Contreras and Horner each had solo home runs. Horner gets the double digits, Sam. He had fun with his 10th homer. And what were your thoughts on this game?
So fun little element for people if they want a reason to watch tomorrow. I had the Cubs before the season over 73.5 wins. It'll come down to the final game.
Wow.
Isn't that
They're on
crazy?
73 exactly.
Yep. Isn't that funny?
I guess I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I mentioned it a couple times in the show. You didn't react.
Yeah.
I got it early. I think they opened at 73.5. I think it closed to like 74.5, 75, but I got it early. And I kind of thought, I went from thinking, oh, they have no shot to, oh, this is a wrap, to now it comes down to one game, and guess who's on the mound? Bum, bum, bum. Adrian Sampson.
Cy Sampson.
I thought Keegan Thompson threw really well today. He gave up a 2-run homer. It happens. His stuff looks sharp. That was the first time I ever seen Nico Horner pimp a homer, so that was pretty cool. Did a little bat flip situation. Contreras homered.
Last home run in a Cubs uniform, potentially.
Suzuki got runged up on a 3-2 pitch that wouldn't have been a strike in seventh grade. As Ross just continues to watch that unfold. I think there has to be some sort of letter or some sort of thing done in the offseason from the Cubs to MLB on how many missed calls there's been on Suzuki, because if they got half those calls right, he probably has an OPS of 825, 830. It's ridiculous. And I give him tons of credit for continuing to be patient, even though he knows he's going to get rung up when he takes balls. Franmil Reyes got 95 right to the backside in the ninth inning. Took that like a champ.
Turn and tuck.
And Brandon Hughes had his first really awful outing. I mean, he was terrible. 4-pitch walk followed by a walk-off double.
Yeah, he faced two batters.
Yeah, well, when in a tie game, that qualifies.
Well, no, I'm reinforcing your point.
Yeah, it was ugly. But he was doing
well.
A lot of pitch. I mean, it's a lot of big league action for him. So
yeah, maybe a little bit.
The Bulls trail by 15 here in their preseason opener.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you got your eye on everything, huh?
Sure. I love sports.
So
I'm single, by the way. Now clip that. Baby, you might be different.
Oh no.
Hey, speaking of pizza, here's a pizza.
Oh, nice. Hey, did you see that Luminati's and Portillo's are collaborating?
I did see that. I will be ordering that.
Italian beef pizza. So that's great. Final game of the season, Sampson versus Ashcraft.
Wow, that was pretty disingenuous.
Well, no, actually, I think it's really cool. Yeah. Cubs are a minus 115 favorite, which I think they were tonight.
I would have liked to guess that, but sure.
Reds are plus.
No, when I know it's minus 115, there's no reason to guess the plus. They're like plus 105.
Right. What do you think the over-under is, do you think?
I don't know. 7.5, 8 again.
Yeah, it's 8 again.
Yeah.
And I would really be surprised if either of these clubs
I think the Cubs
even get close.
First of all, I'd like to give myself a little shout out. I told you Aaron Judge was going to get to 62 on yesterday's program.
Right. No, that's actually a great prediction by you.
And I'd like to predict tomorrow the Cubs are going to score a lot of runs.
Really?
Yeah, they're going to close out the year with a win. They're going to cover my over. They're not going to let me down. They might hang up double digits tomorrow.
No, that's actually great to keep track of for everybody
Next
out there, the
next
over
year
on your wins.
next year we're gonna write down my predictions and see what I get.
Of course. Of course we will.
And by the way, and I don't know if I'm stepping on your toes here, and if I am, just move your feet. Um, I I thought that was funny. Sorry.
Yeah.
When the a lot of some people we're gonna be with you for almost every day through the first month of the offseason for the Cubs, which begins tomorrow night. We're gonna be doing stuff, Matt, like player grades. We're gonna rate our favorite moments of the 2022 season, the worst moments of the 22 season, and obviously a lot of previewing for the future. So if you're still very Cubs hungry after the season ends and you want to be with us every step of the way until this team a year from now is playing a playoff game, then hop on and join.
Absolutely. And as we
I already know my favorite moment of the 2022 season.
yes, we get set to wrap here. So I think we should definitely do some type of team grades piece. Best
Team
and worst
grades or individual grades?
Well, both.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of player features with the report card pretty much on each person.
Yep. I mean, it's
Yeah.
each important person.
And we're also going to be a little bit of an information hub as well. Like, even for myself as a diehard fan, or I should say for all of us tuning in, whether you are or not, what are some of the timelines on the offseason? We're going to go through that. There's a lot of Rule 5 decisions the Cubs have to make with the 40-man and all that.
Brennan Davis hit a home run today.
Yeah, we're going to do some Arizona Fall League stuff on Thursday and Friday show.
We're going to be here every step of the way. Let me tell you something.
Every step.
By March 30th, 2020,
we're going to be pretty fit.
By March 30th, 2023, when we hang up 5 earned on Corbin Burns through 4 1/3, we're going to feel like family members to you, and vice versa. You're gonna be, oh, Sam's gonna this and this, and it's gonna be great. And we're gonna share a year from now on the Jewish holiday. We'll be playing playoff basketball or baseball.
Well, I was thinking about that in the car today. It was like, wow, March 30th, 2023 is the next show we'll do with games.
Isn't that crazy?
And for whatever reason, it doesn't feel like that long. But I also I want to enjoy the point up to then, and I really want to build this show.
I'll wholeheartedly agree with everything you just said.
Yeah, it's weird how time works as we
time's scary, Matthew.
I know. Well, maybe we'll do some deep topic.
You know what? Maybe this week we do a little best and worst of the campaign.
We could definitely do that for Friday. Yes. I think
as the Bulls now have given up 52 with 6 to go in the first half for their defensive unit.
All right, well, I think that's where we're going to wrap up. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for Locked On Cubs on YouTube and smash the like button and all your favorite Locked On Cubs content. Turn on the notification bell to let you know when a new show is posted and/or when we go live. We're also on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your pods, and please drop us a text. 312-834-4634. Thanks for making Locked On Cubs your first listen every day. Now make your second, the Locked On MLB show with Paul Francis Sullivan, as he brings humor, passion, unique perspective on every team and the biggest stories around the league. Biggest stories for the regular season is only about 24 hours away, maybe even a little less, as it's Cubs-Reds, game 162. We'll have it for you all on Thursday as we move along this week. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.